It's Sunday the 28th of May. I love it when Mr. J doesn't realise I'm recording and he gets caught out on the camera. Okay, so today it's a beautiful day. It's quite muggy, but we are due to have massive rainstorms and thunder and lightning today. So I thought while it's still it's incredibly bright actually. While it's still bright and dry, I'm going to pick some of the elderflowers from the elderflower tree or elderberry tree, so I can make some cordial. So this flower head is perfect. On this one, the flowers haven't come out yet, so that's no good. Nor is this, because they've only just started coming. But on this one, they've already gone over. I also don't want to strip the bush completely because I actually really like elderberries. I like to make syrup from them, and I like to use them in cooking. So I'm taking about a third of the flowers from this tree, and then that will leave about a third, well, 2/3 to go to berries. I think I can fairly well guarantee about a third of them will get eaten by birds, and that's fine. I'm more than happy for that to happen. And about a third of them can come into the house. When this tree was first growing, it was actually growing inside a greenhouse, and the people who owned the small holding before us took the greenhouses down, and as they did, the weight of the tree made it fall over. So the main trunk of this tree is lying horizontally across there, and all this growth is coming off it, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge. It's about this is all the same plant, so it's about 25-30 feet long now, and my guess is that that's probably 12 to 15 feet high, and it's 12 to 15 or maybe even more feet across. It's huge, absolutely enormous, but the blissful thing is, because it's fallen over, masses of the growth is within reach. And here you can see very clearly how the tree trunk has fallen over and it's lying on the ground, and then you can see the growth coming from the side of it, which is now the top of it, and it just goes up and up and it's so tall, it's fantastic. But yeah, so an awful lot of this I can reach, and obviously the flowers way up there, well, they become berries and the birds will have those, and hopefully then they'll leave the ones lower down that I can reach and pick in the autumn. Now it's become really obvious there are several bird families living in this elderberry tree, and I don't want to disturb them for too long because I don't want to upset them. And the other thing is that I don't want to pick too many elderflowers at a time, because the next step is fiddly and I don't want to have to do too many in one go. And the great thing about elderflowers is that once you've taken them off all the stalks, you can actually freeze them until you want to use them. So if I don't get some more done tomorrow to make some cordial, they'll go into the freezer, and then I can make it at my leisure. I filled the basket, and I think for right now that's enough. I'll carry on either later on if I get a moment, or I'll keep going tomorrow. The other thing I'd like to do pretty much at the same time is to make some mint cordial. So I'm going to be picking some of the fresh mint that's in here, not the potatoes that are volunteers, but I'll be picking some of the mint and making some cordial with that too. Back in the kitchen, the mint I'm going to give a thorough wash now, and I'm going to start preparing these elderflowers. I've washed the mint really well. That actually took 3 changes of the water to stop having little bits coming off it, so it's worth doing really thoroughly. It's in a bowl. I'm going to pour over some boiling water and then cover it, and I'm just going to leave that to steep for 24 to 48 hours before I do anything else with it. That already smells absolutely wonderful. So enough water just to cover it. I've pushed the leaves down. I'm using a glass bowl and a wooden spoon because somewhere in the back of my mind I have a feeling that if I use metal it might taint the flavour, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, there we go. I'm gonna leave that to cool, and then I'm going to cover it, and it just smells wonderful. The kitchen is smelling brilliant at the moment. It's just smelling, it smells like summer. The next thing to do is to take the elderflowers off their stalks as best I can, and the easiest way I've found to do that is with a fork. Stems that are left go into our bag that goes out into the compost bin. This is a really long, slow job. Now this basket full is probably going to take me the best part of an hour. That's much too dull to watch, so we'll come back in a little while. I'll leave a link to my blog which has a recipe for elderflower cordial. I made it last year. It worked really well. It was a really good recipe to follow and very, very simple. So that'll be in the information further below. Well, I was being a little optimistic when I said I thought it would take about an hour to take the flowers off a full basket of elderflower blossoms. I've done about an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm about halfway through. It's not so bad. I mean, it was piled up quite high. And there's not that much left to do, and what it's given me is some flowers, but not that many. But this will be enough to make one batch of elderflower cordial, and then I can do another batch another day. I've just checked through my recordings, and my breathing sounds terrible today. Now, I don't actually have anything wrong with my lungs or my throat, other than my thyroid, and occasionally that makes me breathe a bit heavily, but I'm just assuming that my heavy breathing is because it is so muggy today. There's a lot of pollen around, and it's also very humid. So I'm not doing inappropriate heavy breathing. It's just I've just got a heavy breath today. I'm going to carry on and finish off taking these little flowers off their stems, and then in tomorrow's vlog I'll announce the 2 winners of the giveaway that I talked about yesterday. Well, the promised rain has arrived, but that's not very spectacular. That is not a massive thunderstorm with lightning and torrential rain, which is what was forecast. In fact, we had a flood warning. Now, maybe I'm tempting fate. Maybe the rain will come pouring down a bit later on, but at the moment it's just a very light, gentle drizzle. Maybe a little bit more than that, but it's really not worth shouting about. So possibly overnight we're due for something more spectacular, but right now I feel a bit disappointed because you know how much I like thunderstorms, and I get so excited by lightning and thunder, and I was really hoping for some spectacular storm this afternoon. In fact, it's still so mild. We've got the patio doors, or at least part of the patio doors, open, and yeah, the rain's not even getting to the wooden step at the edge of the door. So it does smell nice though. Do you know, today's been filled with really wonderful smells. I hope whichever corner of the world you're in, you're not suffering with too much rain, and may your thunderstorms be spectacular.